phenomenal growth of mobile over the last few years that's fueled a lot of the industry momentum. And behind the growth of mobile, of course, has been Centrino technology. Centrino technology introduced 5 years ago. Coming up very soon, we're going to have the second generation Centrino 2. I'm not going to be talking too much about it. We're going to be keeping that for a rack day fairly soon. But this technology is crammed full of goodies, and I'm going to bring Adam up on stage to give you a little sneak preview of some of the features. Adam.
Fooled you, Sean.
You go.
Why would I walk the short way? What fun would it be in that?
All
Good
right.
to see you again.
Good to see you.
Our fans here at Computex. What I have here is a terrific gaming notebook from ASUS. And this is also what we're calling the Centrino 2 platform. And what we're featuring here is Lord of the Rings Online from Turbine. And it's one of the new multiplayer games where millions of people get together online to enjoy this. It's a bit of socializing, but it's a bit of, I'm going to beat you up, you know what I mean? So you see here, we're running around and we're interacting with literally millions of people. There's millions and millions of packets that are being shared real time, and you really need low latency. It's kind of the responsiveness you saw with Craig on the Crisis game with the Twitch shooter, where 100 milliseconds is make or break in those kind of games. Same thing over here. If you don't have a high-speed network connection out on the go, then you're not able to interact as well, and it's not nearly as fun. And in this situation, we've got the WiMAX EchoPeak mini card installed in the system, and we're streaming this over WiMAX.
That's cool.
And so, not in addition to the responsiveness there, it's how quickly you can get to each level, get all of these maps. Each character has to push all their data to you, so it's very data intensive.
Okay, and what are the other guys we got here?
We'll get to that in a second. This particular system here is not just about the high-performance wireless LAN network. It's also an extremely powerful machine. Some of the things that Craig talked about with the DDR3, that's also available on this platform. And as you mentioned, very energy efficient. So we get the performance and energy efficiency together. One example of a very CPU-intensive and memory-intensive task would be video editing. It's something that, as we've seen a lot here around here, it becomes quite critical on the go.
So that's a little glimpse at Centrino 2 technology, and also some great work there on user-generated content. Some really creative, fun stuff done there by many of the people who entered that competition that we announced recently. So this will be coming along soon, as I said earlier on. We've got a whole series of new technologies coming out here. Stutter-free playback, obviously, on HD, great battery life, higher I/O performance, better radio performance and throughput, and all of those things, HDMI and so on. And that will be coming along very, very soon with, of course, many of these incorporating Blu-ray feedback as well, these guys here. So that will be 5 years after the original Centrino. And in fact, if you think about it, if you go back 15 years ago, 1992, we used our leading-edge technology to introduce the Pentium processor, which was a processor which in many ways changed the industry. That was 15 years ago. 5 years ago, we then worked with so many of you here, introducing Centrino mobile technology. And then today, again, we're now using leading-edge technology, but we're using leading-edge technology for something quite different, which is to use our 45-nanometer high-K technology to make super small, super power-efficient chips. And of course, I'm talking about the Atom processor. The Atom processor, which is on so many of the booths and stands around Computex here. Using that 45-nanometer high-K technology not only means you can do the high-performance things, but it also means that in something in the range of 55 million transistors, we can make tiny, tiny, fuel-efficient microprocessors. 45-nanometer transistors switch incredibly quickly on and off, up to 300 billion times per second. In one of those seconds, light itself only travels about 8 inches. So when you have the power of that technology, 45 nanometers, you can do some really, really wonderful things. Recently, Chandrasekhar at our IDF event in Shanghai announced a series of mobile internet device technologies. I have one of these here today from Clarion. Clarion, of course, a global leader in navigation devices. This navigation device using Atom technology not only has all of the things that you would expect in a navigation device to do with GPS and mapping, but in itself is a full-function PC that can do those Web 2.0 applications that we showed earlier on. That was introduced just a few weeks ago, and what we're going to do today is introduce the follow-on technology into the newer space, the space of netbooks. And 1 year ago here on stage, we were honored to have Johnny Shi, the CEO of ASUS, come up on stage and announce the EEPC using an earlier generation of Intel microprocessor technology. Today, 1 year later, we are delighted to introduce the Atom processor for the netbook category, and we are delighted to have a whole series of breakthrough new netbook computers from many, many different companies. A new version, of course, from ASUS, but from Gigabyte, Acer, Hiab, MSI, the Classmate PC, Elego, Mytac, and others. The MSI device, it's kind of unfair of me to single out any one, but I'll just pick up this MSI device. Many, many innovative things going on here. This particular one, of course, showcases Microsoft Windows. Many of these devices are using Windows technology because of the immense user base and interest that there is in Windows, and Microsoft have a very exciting roadmap coming along for these technology devices. But all in all, these devices are generally simple, they're affordable, and they're designed for the internet. How do they fit in with traditional notebooks? Traditional notebooks now are moving into the hundreds of millions of units. They're rather different kinds of devices. The netbook is a simple device, often for younger people who just want, the children between the ages, say, of 8 and 14, whose parents previously wouldn't have been able to afford these kinds of things, or for older people who possibly just want to have web access. So it is a new category. Most people want to have the full function and video and editing and creation of the notebook, but the netbook is now a new category device, and the Taiwanese industry and industry around the world has moved very, very rapidly in the last 6 months to make that happen.